Have you ever held someone's hand and felt like the world disappeared around you? That one moment where nothing else mattered, not the noise, not the people, not even time itself, just you and them. That's the exact moment when the question appeared in my heart. To the ends of forever, do you promise me? It wasn't just a question, it was a test of truth, a test of love, a test of how far we could go together. And I can't forget the way everything paused right then, as if life itself was waiting for the answer. You see, love isn't only about the good days. It's about the storms that come without warning, the nights when silence feels heavier than words, the times when dreams almost collapse. And that's when the real question rises. Will you stand with me, even when nothing feels certain? Every step we took together was filled with choices. Choices to stay when it was easier to walk away. Choices to believe when doubt screamed louder than hope. That's why the words "do you promise me" weren't simple. They carried the weight of tomorrow, of sacrifices, of building something that could outlive fear. But here's the part that still pulls me in. I never wanted an easy promise. I wanted the kind of promise that bends but never breaks. The kind that whispers "I'm here," even in the middle of a storm. And maybe that's why those words still echo in my chest every single day. Think about it. Promises are the only invisible bridges we have. Without them, relationships collapse, trust fades, and hearts get lost. But with them, even the darkest path feels lighter. Even the longest distance feels shorter. So when I asked to the ends of forever, I wasn't asking for comfort. I was asking for courage. And you might wonder, did I get an answer? Well, it wasn't just spoken with lips. It came through actions, through late-night conversations that lasted until sunrise, through small sacrifices that spoke louder than any vow. And that's what made me believe maybe forever isn't just a dream. But here's the twist. Forever doesn't begin with the future. It begins right now. With every choice we make, every hand we choose to hold, every promise we decide to keep. That's where forever starts, not somewhere far away. So when I say, to the ends of forever, do you promise me? I'm not asking about some distant lifetime. I'm asking if you'll stand beside me today, tomorrow, and every moment that tries to break us. Because that sets what turns love into forever. And deep down, maybe you set wondering the same thing too. Maybe your heart is also waiting for an answer, waiting for someone to look at you and say, "Yes, I promise you," even to the ends of forever. You see, promises are not just words. They are the threads that bind two hearts together. When you look into someone's eyes and ask, "Do you promise me?" it's not about the sound of the question. It's about the weight of the answer. Because deep down, you're not only asking if they'll stay today, you're asking if they'll stay when storms come, when dreams break, when silence feels heavier than words. And here's the twist. Most people think promises are broken in loud, dramatic moments. But in reality, they slip away quietly, in missed calls, in cold replies, in the way someone says "I'm busy" a little too often. That's why the words "to the ends of forever" feel so heavy, because forever is not measured in years. It's measured in effort, in small choices, in showing up when it's not convenient. Now pause for a second. Picture yourself standing at the edge of forever with the person you love. Would they really walk beside you, or would they let go when the path gets dark? That question changes everything. Because anyone can promise under the sunlight, but only the true ones hold on in the storm. And here's the part no one tells you. When someone makes that promise with honesty, you feel it. It's not shaky, it's not uncertain. It feels like an anchor, strong enough to keep you steady when everything else falls apart. That's the kind of promise we all search for, the one that doesn't fade when feelings get tested. But let me ask you this. What if forever isn't about distance, but about depth? What if the real meaning of to the ends of forever isn't walking to the end of time, but standing with someone through every test of love? The room was filled with quiet warmth, but silence can be the loudest sound when two hearts are searching for answers. Their eyes stayed locked, neither speaking first, because the weight of this promise wasn't just about today. It was about every day after. That was the unspoken truth. A soft sigh escaped as the question echoed again in their mind. To the ends of forever, do you promise me? It wasn't just a sentence, it was a test, a vow, a bridge between what is and what will be. The heart beats faster when the unknown is close, and this unknown was not about fear, but about trust. The mind began to replay moments like old film reels. The laughter that came so easily in the rain. The tears that were wiped away without hesitation. The small victories celebrated together. The quiet nights where words weren't needed. Every piece of memory whispered, this love has already proven itself. And yet, promises are heavier than memories. A memory belongs to the past, but a promise belongs to the future. That thought made the air grow sharper, almost as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for the answer. There was a trembling in their chest, not from weakness, but from the realization that this was not a simple yes or no. This was a decision that would carry both souls through storms and sunshine, and once spoken, there would be no taking it back. The lips parted slightly, but no words came. Instead, another pause. Silence stretched, almost painfully, but with every second, the tension only drew them closer, because deep down they both knew, sometimes silence speaks more than promises ever could. The heart inside whispered, don't just say it, mean it. And with that thought, the gaze softened. For the first time, the weight didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt natural. It felt like this was the moment destiny had been guiding toward all along. And yet, there was a small fear hiding inside the promise. The fear that maybe forever is too long, maybe the world changes too much, maybe people forget their words when life gets heavy. But then again, when someone asks you to promise till the ends of forever, it's not really about time, it's about the strength of the bond. It's about whether you're willing to hold on, no matter what storms come. So the question kept echoing, do you promise me? And the silence after those words felt heavier than any answer, because once you say yes, there's no going back. It's not like a simple promise to meet tomorrow or to call later. It's a vow that stretches into the unknown. And here's the part that grips the heart. Every listener begins to ask themselves the same thing. Would I promise forever? Would I dare to commit to something so endless? Or would I hold back, afraid of what forever really means? That's why the story isn't just about one person asking. It's about everyone hearing that question and feeling it deep inside. Because forever is the kind of word that shakes you. It makes you wonder if love is truly strong enough to outlast everything. But the moment those words were spoken, the air felt different, like destiny itself was waiting for the answer. And then something shifted between us, not in words, but in the silence that stretched out. Like time itself had slowed down just to watch us. The question echoed again. To the ends of forever, do you promise me? It wasn't just about love anymore. It was about loyalty, courage, and trust that would never crack even when life became unbearable. I searched the eyes in front of me, and what I saw was not hesitation, but a silent storm of emotions, like waves crashing inside, yet calm on the surface. The pause felt longer than it should, and in that pause, my heart raced faster than ever. A soft smile appeared, barely there, but it carried weight heavier than any words. The promise was not spoken yet, but it was already alive, written in the air between us. Still, I wanted to hear it. I needed to hear it, because words once spoken have the power to bind souls, stronger than any chain. The voice came at last, steady, low, and full of certainty. If forever has an end, I'll go past it. If forever breaks, I'll hold it together, to the ends of forever. I promise you, and in that moment it was no longer a question. It became a vow carved into existence. But as powerful as that vow was, life doesn't stop testing promises. And I couldn't shake one thought. What if the world found a way to challenge even this one? Sometimes, the real test of a promise isn't in the happy moments. It's in the stormy ones. There came a time when doubts crept in, not because of lack of love, but because of distance, silence, and the weight of life itself. Questions whispered, can promises survive when days turn heavy? But even in those uncertain moments, that question kept returning, to the ends of forever. Do you promise me? Each time the answer was the same. Yes, without hesitation, without conditions, because a true promise doesn't bend with the weather. It holds firm, even when everything else feels fragile. Think about it. How many people truly keep their word when it matters most? How many stand tall when it would be easier to walk away? That's what makes this promise so rare, so powerful, so unforgettable. The journey wasn't about perfection.